Ajnana Timarandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Welcome, dear devotees, those of you on the Zoom call, as well as those of you who are watching us here on Facebook, starting with Dilit Bhai Patel Prabhu, Hemlata Mataji, Neelam Mataji, and Vidyavadu Devi Dasi there. And of course, all of you here, lovely devotees of the Lord. I'm beginning to start sharing my screen, and I hope I'll share the right one today. Going into the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Let me know when it shows up on your screen.
Yes, Mataji, we can see.
And
Mataji.
we will do starting with 2 translations each. And what we do is that after we are done with the translation, we take the name of the next person so that the transition happens quickly and the next person kind of gets alert and starts reading their share of the verses.
Mataji, are we
Hare
going to
Krishna,
read
Mataji.
chapter
We are
2
not
or
reading
12?
12 chapter.
Oh, yeah, 12. I thought I clicked on 12. See, old habit,
You
samskara.
said chapter 2.
2,
Yeah,
yes.
this is called samskara. For pressing chapter 2 for 4 months, it's become like that. All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
now
you.
it's 12. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mataji, I'm starting.
Yeah, just
Chapter
one second.
12.
Yeah, just one second. I just wanted to remind because Meera is new to her. So, Meera, after you're done reading your side, you will see Aruni's name. Aruni is next to you. So, remember Arun and Aruni.
Okay, thanks.
Like that. So, do that. Okay. And rest of you, you're all, old timers. You know the game. Okay. Now, Sutapa, please go ahead.
Yes. Chapter 12, Devotional Service. Text 1. Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested? Text 2. The Supreme Personality Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Hare Krishna. Sukumal Radhe Mataji.
Yeah. Text 3 and 4. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed, and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all at last achieve me. Text 5. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Vindhyavali Mataji.
Text 6 and 7. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Prada, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Text 8. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always without a doubt. Hare Krishna. Next, I don't know who is it.
Yeah,
Who
it's
is that?
me, Mataji, Archana.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Text 9. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Text 10. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. Hare Krishna.
Text 11. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all your results of your work and try to be self-situated. Text 12. If you cannot take to this practice, Then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge is, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation one can attain peace of mind. Hare Krishna, Sonia Mataji.
Thank you. Text 13 and 14. One who is not envious but is kind to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self control, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Text 15. He by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety is very dear to me. Varshana Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. My devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some result is very dear to me. Text 17. One who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things. Such a devotee is very dear to me. Hare Krishna. Simmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contamination, association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who's fixed in knowledge and who's engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me. Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me their supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Jay, thank you for reading. And now we come to our favorite part.
Hare Krishna Mataji, text 8.
Text 8. She took
That's
text
Use
what
8.
I was
all
just
your
thinking.
intelligence
I was
in
just
me.
thinking.
So,
She took it.
since childhood, we are listening. Use your intelligence in maths. Use your intelligence in so many different subjects, and in family life also we use your intelligence. But it's a direct shift from material life to spiritual. Krishna is telling that use your all intelligence in me only. So I like that part so much.
Very nice. Very, very nice observation, right?
He will be with us always without doubt.
Yeah, without doubt. And and that's why devotional service is also called by the name Buddhi Yoga. So Buddhi Yoga and Bhakti Yoga are the same thing. So why it's called Buddhi Yoga? Because you are putting your intelligence, and this is the right use of your intelligence. Right use of your intelligence is use your intelligence to connect. Yoga means to connect with Krishna. Go back and find what your relationship is with Krishna, and then live according to that, live a life according to that relationship. And which is the right use of knowledge also. And it is important to have knowledge. We were talking in the beginning of the class today. And as long as we have got material desires and they are dominating in our lives, then our intelligence also gets utilized in fulfilling those material desires. And that is called as Maya Apahrita Jnana. Maya has taken away that Gyan or controlled that Gyan that you have. And it's making you do things so that you get involved more and more and more into it. Right? And in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we see that cycle, right? And what does he say? That if you first contemplate, you contemplate on the objects of the senses. So you see something outside. Somebody's car is parked your neighbor's car is parked in the driveway and it's a new Tesla, better than yours. You start contemplating on it. And what happens if you look at the car every day? You will develop an attachment to it. And after you develop an attachment, you will want to possess it. And if you can't possess it, then you'll get angry. When you get angry, your mental upper story gets all messed up. You become delusion and you get bewildered. And then it's like, I can't get that car. I have to get it by some means or other. I don't have the money, so I should get money by hook or by crook. By some means, I have to do that. And that way, you then fall down into this whirlpool of material energy. That is Maya Aparita Jnana. A person can devise the best possible means of embezzling money, right? There are people who do that. They're very intelligent, who beat the system and make money out of it. But that is a wrong utilization of the intelligence. The best way that you can utilize your intelligence is to use it in the service of the Lord. So very good choice of the verse. And then Vindhyavali Mataji pointed out that he says that he is giving the guarantee. Now, where is the guarantee? We live, there's a lot of faith that we have in our lives on various things. Do you think we have a lot of faith in our lives? Do you think we have some faith in things? Do we?
Yes, yes,
Yes. So give me some examples.
yes.
Give me some examples.
Mataji, I have faith. Yes, Mataji. Sukomal Mataji, please go
No,
ahead.
you go, Varshana Mataji. I'm still thinking. You go.
Okay. Mataji, I have faith that if I leave all the confusions of my mind and leave them aside and just concentrate on the lotus feet of the Lord, He will surely 100% will help me to reach Him. This faith I have.
Fantastic faith. Now that's a transcendental faith, right? Because you are thinking about Lord and you brought in the Lord there. So the moment you bring Lord into something, it becomes a transcendental activity. So it's not material, it's beyond material, right? So give me some examples of faith that you have in the material world. Do we have any faith?
Nothing is permanent. I have realized in this 70 years, nothing is permanent. Nothing. No, nothing gives happiness.
Okay. Tell me.
Mataji, this faith like my car will start. If I have to go for a doctor's appointment, I can get there in time.
Yeah.
Things like that. If I have a call, my phone will work.
Yes. And when you switch on the alarm, when you set the alarm in the night, what is the faith?
I'll wake up.
We believe that
that will ring. That will ring on time.
What do you believe when you're setting the alarm for the next day? What do you believe?
That it will go off and it
will go on at the right time.
Very good. And what else do you believe?
We will
I will be alive.
Wake up on right time.
Yeah, who said alive?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, that's the biggest faith that you'll be alive. Okay. Now, you got car insurance?
Yes, Mataji.
Is there some faith there?
Yes, Mataji.
Right? Health insurance, faith there, right? Disaster insurance, earthquake insurance, tornado insurance. Right?
Shraddha Mataji, I feel I have faith, especially these last 8 years, that Krishna has looked after me every single day.
There you go. And he has.
He has.
Right, he has. Definitely. Definitely. Now, when you take a pill that your doctor gives you, or you go to some store and you get that medicine, is there faith there?
Yeah, faith and doctor, that's all.
And it's blind faith also, right?
Right.
So people generally talk about faith and, like, oh, Krishna is saying without a doubt, and I don't believe it. This is like, Maya Aparita Jnana. We don't want to, because we have this envy of Krishna. We don't want to accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why all these kinds of things will keep coming into our mind. But when it comes to other places where we have to have faith, you're like, yeah, it says on the recipe, or it says on the label. So you have faith in the label? Where's the faith? And Varshana Mataji so wisely said that, after 70 years, I have faith in nothing. This is the state of affairs. This is where we are living. This is who we are. And this is the place where we are living. So our idea should
Where
be,
is our position that we can even think of envying Krishna?
see, isn't it? Envy means, who are you? Why should I serve you? I'm as good as you are. And that's what we all did. That's why we are here in this material world, right? Krishna created all of us there to love him and serve him, but he also gave us free will. And because of the free will, we have a choice whether we want to serve him or whether we want to enjoy on our own. And so we chose, make that decision. And Krishna said, okay, here is a playground for you. I've created these millions of universe. Some are good, some are bad. And you just, you can go up and down, try to enjoy without me. And then sooner or later, so when we are born, it is good. Our psychology and our mental makeup and our consciousness is, it's completely annamaya, right? Everything is food for you. Anything that you see, you pop it in your mouth. And there's supreme enjoyment there. So that's why they say, the Shastras say that there are only two types of people who are, who enjoy. Either those who are childlike or those who are paramhamsas. Because paramhamsas are at that level where they think that I am the soul and I'm not the body. So it doesn't affect anything in the material, it doesn't affect them. Or a little child, who picks up the shoes from the ground, puts them into the mouth and thinks that this is the best thing in the world. Like that. So but that's the sad state of life.
Mataji, I want to ask something. This one in 8th, like Sutapa Mataji said, that engage all your intelligence in me. That's what Krishna said. But the next one, he says again, Arjuna, if you cannot fix your mind and without any deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. That's what he says. So what is that?
What is that? Because Krishna is telling you that you do this, right? This is the highest. This is what you should do. Right? But he also knows that not everybody will be able to do that. So what he's saying, engage your mind always in me, right? A simple thing, always engage 24/7. And so let us just see that if we are not engaging our mind 24/7 on Krishna, where do you think it goes? Where does the mind go?
Wandering,
Everywhere.
thinking all
Yeah, give me
Wander
a few
everywhere.
examples. Yeah, give me a few examples. Those on the internet can also type in. Give me some examples of where does the mind go?
It goes in all the mundane things,
Mundane things.
like
Very good. Yeah.
oh, I have to. My daughter needs to fix her car, and she
Yeah.
need to call the mechanics.
Mm,
So it does. We do all the, and it goes everywhere. Even when we are doing things, it can go anywhere else too.
yes. Even when you're doing things, and specifically when you sit down to chant, then it tries to go everywhere.
Right.
So if you really want to know what your attachments are, then just watch where the mind goes when you sit down to worship the Lord, or when you sit down to do some chanting serious, when you try to meditate on the Lord, wherever
I
the mind goes
concentrate
are
on his
your,
lotus feet,
yeah, that's very good.
his flute, and see his form.
There you go. And so if you're able to do that 24/7, fantastic, you are in samadhi. And as long as we are not able to do that, then there are attachments going here and there, right? I need to do this, I need to do that, my daughter needs this, my son needs that, my dad needs this, like that. So on and so forth. So those are our attachments, and those attachments have to be given up. Asanga shastrena dhirena chitva. Which chapter is it? Asanga shastrena. Cut it with the weapon of detachment.
50.
Chapter
15, Mataji.
15 for 750 points to Vindyavali Mataji. Yes. Yes.
A banyan tree.
Banyan tree. Yeah. They're talking about this material world is like a banyan tree, completely complex. Don't know which is the trunk, which is the root. There are multiple trunks, multiple roots, secondary roots, primary roots, so many branches, dense, very dense, right? Don't know anto na chadir. We do not know the beginning. We do not know the end of it, right? But then what does he say? That you are messed up in this material world. But then he says, Asanga shastrena dhirena chitva. You cut off all these branches with the weapon of detachment. So I'm detached to this, I'm detached to this, I'm detached to this. I'm not going to attach myself to anything because it causes only trouble. right? So
This is
there are
very
attachments.
difficult, Mataji.
Say that again.
So
This is
Mataji,
so
I have a
difficult.
Okay, so Tapa and then Sonia.
I
But
oh
I'm telling Mataji, this is very difficult, but we have to keep trying, as you told that you have to keep practicing.
Yeah, you have to keep trying. And it was not Sonia, but was her sister, Sulekha. Yeah.
like, thank you, Mataji. I guess Mataji, like when we are doing some work, we make a task list of these 10 things you need to accomplish today.
Hmm.
So it feels little confusing to say don't go into that and think about Krishna instead. Or like I know I need to buy a car, so
Very
and
good.
not
So
think
very
about
good
buying a
question.
Tesla. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Why not buy a Tesla? Why not? Right. So our verse for today talks about that, and we'll answer your question. We'll answer your question that because Krishna says, "Vayye vamanad," not here. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddhacha. He says that to Arjuna that all the time you think about me and then engage in the war. I mean, come on, are you kidding me, Krishna? You asked me to fight this world war. There are such, great warriors standing in front of me, Bhishma, Pitama, Duryodhan, right, Vikarn. They're
Yeah.
all very good warriors, and I'm supposed to be concentrating on that. And this, it's so noisy environment, and you want me to think about you all the time? How can I say that, right? So these are some
Yeah.
very valid questions, and our verse for today will address that.
Okay. Thank you,
Talk about
Mataji.
that. Yeah. What exactly does it mean? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddhacha. Yeah.
All the time waiting.
Mataji, I have one question. Like we are talking about faith, but just as us or me, fallen soul, when uh, things are okay, we still feel more faith. When things go wrong, then our faith is shaken. Like, it is harder actually to concentrate on Krishna than when circumstances are okay. I mean, if they are very good, then you don't concentrate because then you say, oh, everything is okay. But when things are very bad, also, I think it is hard to concentrate. And I mean, at least I feel for myself, maybe when things are medium, you are both ways.
We like medium because medium sort of shows means a balance, right? Neither this nor that. So there's this very interesting story they tell about a devotee of the Lord. And he used to go on a walk by the seashore. And he would walk on the beach, the sandy beach, and he would be talking to God. And you know what? God used to walk with him. He could not see God, but when he looked down, he could see his footsteps and he could see God's footsteps also on the sand. So he knew that God is walking with him. And he would have his nice conversations as we have, right, with Krishna sometimes. Now, so things passed very nicely. Every day he would go there, every day God would be with him. And he'd finish his walk, say goodbye, and then come back home. And then, things turned for the worse for this person. And he went there to the beach and he was praying. Obviously, he had this relationship with God. So he was praying to God that, please let me out of this situation. Please let me out of the situation. And there was no God. He looked down there. The footsteps were not there. There was not, he only saw one pair of footprints on the sand. And then somehow, he kept praying, and then that situation went away. And when the situation went away, then next day again he was out on the walk and he found the footsteps of the Lord again. So again there were two pairs of footsteps. So then this guy turns and he says to God, like, what? When I needed you the most, you just ran away. And now when things are good, you're walking with me. And then the Lord turned to him, not turned to him, but the Lord said to him that, you know what? When you were going through the bad times, I was actually carrying you in my hands. And what you saw as the footprints on the sand were only my footprints, they were not yours. So we have to remember this, that when we are in a bad situation in life, going through whatever that we go through, that is the time when the Lord really takes care of us, really, really, really. And that's the time that, we should reach out to Lord and just ask him this question, that I'm going through this phase in life, bad thing, and which might appear to be bad materially or even spiritually, and ask him this question that, God, I know that every such reversal that happens in my life, is actually meant to teach me something. And so please just help me learn whatever I have to learn from this. Let me learn it fast. Because the moment I learn my lesson, the situation will go away. Because the situation was created in the first place for us to learn our lesson. So there's a very famous, saying in Hindi, and I let Varshana Mataji say that because I know she knows it, about thinking about the Lord in the happy days and the sad days. Varshana Mataji,
No, Mataji,
You know it.
I was about to say something else.
Sukh mein sumarin.
हाँ, सुख में सिमरन सब करे, दुख में करे ना, दुख में सिमरन सब करे, सुख में करे ना कोई, जो सुख में सिमरन करे, दुख काहे को होए.
What does it mean?
It means, Mataji, that everybody remembers God when he is in trouble, but nobody remembers him when he is in happiness. And God, Kabir says that if everybody remembers him during the happy days, then the sad days will never come.
There you go.
Nice, very nice.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I wanted to share this footprints thing, which happened with my father's guru. It really happened, Mataji. His name is Lal. Guruji ka naam is Lal. And when this partition happened, he said, Lord, I don't want to leave you here. I want to take you with me. He said, okay, this murti is very heavy. You will not be able to carry it. I will walk behind you and you go ahead. He was very happy and he said, okay. And he said that, Lord, how will I come to know that you are coming behind me? He said, you will hear the noise of my ankle bells. What you call is payal. Ankle bells. Yes, you're right. Ankle bells. So God was walking behind him. He was listening to the noise of the ankle bells. But after that, the place was sandy and the sand got stuck into those ankle bells. And he turned back and Lord said, no, I will not walk because you lost faith in me and I will stay here only. Till date, Mataji, the temple is in Pakistan only.
Wow. We have a similar story here in India.
Similar story, yes, yeah.
Yes, we do.
That other one.
What is that called?
In Rajasthan only it is
Is
Srinath.
it Rajasthan? Wow.
Srinath Ji.
So Lord does it all the time. This means it's a very famous.
Because the devotee turned around and he didn't have faith, so then the Lord just situated himself there. That is the place, Srinath Ji.
Yeah, Sakshi Gopal in close to
Sakshi Gopal also.
Yeah. But thank you for sharing the story. Yeah, so it's all about faith, and faith and blind faith, and we can argue and or argue, but we do have a lot of blind faith. Like I said, when you take the pop that medicine in your mouth, then there is a blind faith there, right? Because you're not well versed in all the chemistry of what goes into a drug, right? When we purchase something from the shelf, they give some ingredients of the material, and they are not obligated by the Food and Drugs Administration to declare everything on that label. If certain things is below a certain percentage, then you're not supposed to, they're not obligated to declare it. So, but we still eat it like that. So there's a lot of blind faith also. Like, did we ever question our teacher when we were learning English, why L is silent in the word could, why L is silent in the word should, why no is spelled as KNOW, how is pneumonia spelled? You talk it with it's N, and why does it start with a P? Right? You blindly followed our teachers. But when it comes to Krishna consciousness, this is the nature of the soul, the embodied soul, which all wants to enjoy, without Krishna in the first place. So, yeah. Faith is a very important ingredient of devotional service. Actually, there are 9 stages to that lead to the highest of devotional service, which is love of God. And the stages before that, the first stage is Shraddha, Adau Shraddha. In the beginning, there is faith. Devotional service starts with faith, right? Because you don't see God. You don't see God. So there is some faith that He is there, right? Yeah. So should we go further? We have 15 minutes left, 16,
Yes, okay.
55.
Thank you, Mataji.
12.
Should we go? Yeah, you're welcome. Should we go into, and whose turn is it to read?
I think it's my turn, Mataji. Sulekha.
Sulekha? So, am I sharing? Not yet, right?
No.
Not yet.
Mataji, not yet.
And our verse is a compound verse today, 6-7. Maybe we'll do it over
Yeah.
2 days. Maybe we'll have to do it over 2 days. We'll just see. Okay, Sulekha.
So where should I start, Mataji? I think you need to scroll down a bit.
Oh, you need the Hindi? Okay.
You have to read the Sanskrit.
Okay.
Maybe she reads from here also. Go ahead.
Yetu sarvani karmani mai sansate mat pra ananye nev yogen ma dhyanat upasate tesham samu. Sorry, it's so bad. Samudatta mrityu sansaragata bhavami nachira pat madye shichitasam.
Okay. So I'll read it from the beginning and then maybe you all can go on mute and recite it, right? I'll give it whole once and then I'll go one by one, right? Because you had said you all wanted to learn how to pronounce it. That's good. But Sulekha, I know you're new and you're trying and you're doing a good job. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha ananyanev yogena mam dhyayanta upasate teshamaham samudhrita mrityu samsar sagarat bhavami nachirat partha maya veshita chetasam. Okay, now mute yourself. ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि
Maya Samatpada
Mute yourself.
Yena Mam
ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि. I'm watching you. मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः
May sanyamast matpara
अनन्यनेव योगेन मां ध्यायन्ता उपासते तेषाम् अहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि नाचिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्. All right, so I had muted all of you. Now you can unmute yourself. And I see Garima Mataji has also joined us. Garima, are you in a position to read? Garima?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, good. So we are at Sulekha Mataji right now. And then after Sulekha, we'll have
Next
Meera.
is Meera Mataji.
Yeah, so we'll have Meera and then Naruni. And then if you have time, we'll have Garima Mataji also. All right, so let's go with the synonyms. So Meera is going to give us synonyms, right? Okay. Meera, just give us these synonyms here. Meera Mataji. And if you are muted, then unmute yourself. Do we have Meera? You're speaking on mute, Meera. Unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Start from the beginning.
Ye those who tu but sarvani all karmani activities mai unto me sannyasa giving up mat parha being attached to me anayena without division eva certainly yogena by practice of such bhakti yoga mam upon me dhyam yat meditating upasate worship tesam of them aham I Samudarta the deliverer mrityu of death samsara in material existence sagarth from the ocean bhavami I become na not sirat after a long time Parth, O son of Parth, Mai upon me, Avesita fixed, Seta sem of those whose minds.
Thank you. So Meera, if you go to the website, nityasankirtan.com, right? I had given you the link, I think in the beginning. And if you don't have it, ask me again, I'll give you.
Oh,
So in that, on that, and there's a tab for Bhagavad Gita. And on that tab, there's a link for Sanskrit pronunciation guide. And that is basically on, if you write Sanskrit in English using English script, then how do we pronounce it? Particularly, if you have a R with a dot underneath it, if there's a A with a bar over it, those kind of things, or I with a, something like that. What does an N with a dot mean? So it's all nicely written over there, and then you'll get it. But very good what you did today. Okay, so after Meera Mataji, we have Aruni. And Aruni, I had muted you, so please unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry about that. I
Yeah,
didn't
no,
realize.
yeah, I didn't realize. I know you were in
Sorry.
meditation, enjoying the Krishna Katha. Yeah, I know it happens. Yeah.
Translation. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death.
Thank you. And now Garima. Garima, you and your.
In it is explicitly stated here that the devotees are very fortunate to be delivered very soon from material existence by the Lord in pure devotional service. One comes to the realization that God is great and that that the individual soul is subordinate to him. His duty is to render service to the Lord, and if he does not, then he will render service to Maya. As stated before, the Supreme Lord can be appreciated only by devotional service. Therefore, one should be fully devoted. One should fix his mind fully on Krishna. In order to achieve him, one should work only for Krishna. It does not matter in what kind of service one engages, but the work should be done only for Krishna. That is standard of devotional service. The devotee does not desire an achievement other than pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His life mission is to please Krishna, and he can sacrifice everything for Krishna's satisfaction, just as Arjuna did in the battle of Kurukshetra. The process is very simple. One can devote himself in his occupation and engage at the time in chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Transcendental chanting attracts the devotee of the
Now, Sanvi, give your mom a chance.
Of the personality of Godhead.
Okay, your mom will lead now. Okay.
The Supreme Lord herein promises that without delay he will deliver a pure devotee thus engaged from the ocean of material existence. Those who are advanced in yoga practice can willfully transfer the soul to whatever planet they like by the yoga process, and others take the opportunity in various ways. But as far as the devotee is concerned, it is clearly stated here that the Lord himself takes him. The devotee does not need to wait to become very experienced in order to transfer himself to the spiritual sky. In the Varaha Puran, this verse appears. Nayami paramam sanam archir adi gatim vina garura skandham aropya yathecham anivaritaha. Next person, Mataji.
The purport of this verse is that a devotee does not need to practice Ashtanga Yoga in order to transfer his soul to the spiritual planets. The responsibility is taken by the Supreme Lord himself. He clearly states here that he himself becomes the deliverer. A child is completely cared for by his parents, and thus this position is secure. Similarly, a devotee does not need to endeavor to transfer himself by yoga practice to other planets. Rather, the Supreme Lord, by his great mercy, comes at once, riding on his bird carrier Garuda, and at once delivers the devotee from material existence. Although a man who has fallen in the ocean may struggle very hard and may be very expert in swimming, he cannot save himself. But if someone comes and picks him up from the water, then he is easily rescued. Mataji, can you scroll up? Similarly, the Lord picks up the devotee from the material existence. One simply has to practice the easy process of Krishna consciousness and fully engage himself in devotional service. Any intelligent man should always prefer the process of devotional service to all other paths. Sukumal Radhe Mataji. Okay.
Thank you. In the Narayaniya, this is confirmed as follows. Ya vai sadhana sampatti purushartha chatustaye taya vina tad apnoti naro narayana ashraya. The purport of this verse is that one should not engage in the different processes of fruitive activity or cultivate knowledge by the mental speculative process. One who is devoted to the Supreme Personality can attain all the benefits derived from other yogic processes, speculation, rituals, sacrifices, charities, etc. That is the specific benediction of devotional service. Vindhyavali Mataji.
Muted. You are muted, Mataji.
Sorry. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A devotee of the Lord can approach the supreme destination easily and happily, but this destination cannot be approached by any other process of religion. The conclusion of Bhagavad Gita is stated in the 18th chapter, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Praja Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyo Moksha Ikshami Masuchaha. One should give up all other process of self-realization and simply execute devotional service in Krishna consciousness. That will enable one to reach the highest perfection of life. There is no need for one to consider the sinful actions of his past life because the Supreme Lord fully takes charge of him. Therefore, one should not futilely try to deliver himself in spiritual realization. Let everyone take shelter of the Supreme Omnipotent Godhead, Krishna. That is the highest perfection of life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What's the highest perfection of life?
Taking
Shelter of
taking shelter, Sarvadharman
Take the
Parityajya.
shelter.
Take shelter of Krishna. Okay, good. So we have exactly 1 minute left. So, what should we do?
That Sarvadharman Parityajya I liked so much, Mataji, because most of the time we think, no, I can do, I will do, I'm able to do, I know everything. But I don't think so. The Supreme Personality is Godhead is there. He's there to take care of us. And if sometimes if I cannot do, I feel stressed or something. But if I see Sarvadharman Parityajya, I just leave it to you. You take care of me. And if I have that faith, most of the time, when I do like that, I got good results, Mataji. That's what my faith is.
Let go. Let go. Yeah. Very nice.
So like last week and all, and I went through a lot of stuff. But actually, I said, I don't know why it happened and what did I do wrong. But I said, something Krishna's, his decision and why he did, I don't know. But I came out of that and I said, I was chanting and I was thinking all the time his name only. The faith and other things, his lotus feet, I was thinking that just brought me here today.
To the Bay Area. Fantastic. And on that happy note, we will call it a day. Thank you so much, dear devotees. And you see, this is a very long, nice, interesting, and a deep verse that we have, right? And we still have to answer your question, Vindhyavali. We will do that tomorrow. He talks about concentrating on your mind on him all the time, but what's the deal with the next verse that comes up there? Plus, there are so many nice things that are there. About, and then we'll also talk a little bit about what does he mean when he says Sarv Dharman. So what exactly is the dharma he's asking you to abandon? Okay, so I will take your leave
Hare
now.
Krishna, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Mataji, I just wanted to say that I really, really, really liked your lecture on the books are the basis. It was wonderful. And your life's experience has taught me a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad that sharing that helped you.
Thanks for all the associations, Mataji. Here.
There you go. There's nothing to thank me. The association is coming from the other 9.
With your guidance, everybody is.
No. It's my good fortune. It's my good
2
fortune.
days I missed the class. I just cannot believe it. I was feeling so
I know,
much.
Krishna Katha. Yeah, and this is the best hour of the day. I live for this hour,
Absolutely, I believe.
To be able to get association of all of you.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Fantastic. And now we are even more, right?
Yeah.
One more with Meera joining us here today. All right. So Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Lord Premanande
Hare Krishna to everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Mataji. Haribol, we'll call it a day here on the call, as well as those of you who are watching us on Facebook. It's a fantastic turnout tonight. We have additional devotees who joined us here. Neelam is there, and then I also saw Rajiv Batra Prabhu. I also saw Namasya Mataji. She's watching us over there. And I also saw one of my friend's daughter, Ankita Bedi also watching us there, in addition to our regular and the usual. So it was a fantastic night. Have a fantastic night. Fantastic rest of the day. Hare Krishna.